Hi guys, hope you are doing well in spite of all the chaos that is going on around us at the moment. I thought I would do this video as recently someone asked me the question, what is my view on the current situation, and it gave me an idea to share an aspect of perception with you to help you go through this difficult time with a calm mind, get rid of the worry and end this mental suffering, as I call it. We want to try and use these unprecedented circumstances to work in our favor, right? To thrive in the face of adversity. I know it might sound crazy to some of you, but stay with me and let me explain it in more details, and you'll get more understanding of what I mean. So I know this is the time that there is a lot of uncertainty, there is a lot of panic that is going on in the world right now. I just want to address that that's what is going on. It is what it is. We have to accept it. We cannot ignore it and pretend, oh, everything is fine. No, it is happening for real. And we do not have control over it, sadly. But what is interesting is that whenever we do not have control over something, our automatic response is fear, panic, anxiety. That's the human nature. But what we do have control over is how we look at it, how we look at this very situation. In fact, any situation in our life. COVID-19 is just an example. So how we look at the situation and how we respond to it. I would really love to provide you with some support and some insight into how you can really end this suffering, because many of us suffer needlessly for a lot more than is really required of us. I want to show you how you can use this time wisely instead of just waiting for it to finish and then get back to your old life, to your old way of thinking. Or what's even worse, keep worrying about something that you cannot change. You cannot do anything about it. So now is the time to improve our lives in many ways, whether it's a relationship-wise, health, finances, spirituality, you name it. So again, we cannot control what is going on around us. We cannot control the weather. We cannot control what people say to us. But what we can control is how we look at it and how we respond to it. Let's say if we get angry at someone because he or she said something that we didn't like, or we get upset because something happened, it's kind of silly because we won't change it. It's already in the past. And so by reacting in this way, we can only make matters worse. So why would we do it why would we make ourselves feel bad if we know that it won't change anyway? It won't help us at all. I always say to everyone, do not focus on something that you cannot change. It's waste of time, precious time that you will never get back, and waste of your energy. And the other thing, I cannot stress enough how important it is to be aware of the vibration you are in. What I mean by that is to be aware of how we feel, because feeling is just a name we created to label the vibration we are in. There is something called the law of vibration, which states that everything vibrates, nothing rests. We basically live in an ocean of motion. Everyone is talking about the law of attraction, which is actually the secondary law. The primary law is the law of vibration, and that's what we should focus on first, as whatever vibration we are in, that's what we attract into our lives. Let me show you the scale of the vibration. There you go. So as you can see, at the top we have euphoria, elation, joy, expectant, peaceful, inspired. And at the very bottom we have guilt, insecurity, regret, fear, helplessness, anxiety, depression, despair, shame. So ask yourself, where are you on the scale? But be honest with yourself. And would you say that you are living the majority of the day in these feelings, these vibrations? Guess what? That's what is coming your way. It's like ask and it shall be given unto you. So whenever we feel these negative emotions, we need to raise our vibration, our emotional state, and not let the surroundings drag us down. It's interesting to watch people reacting so differently to the same situation. And why is that? It doesn't matter whether you are smart or dumb, rich or poor, you still face difficulties and challenges. Adversity does not discriminate, yet some people just seem to flow through it smoothly. It doesn't slow them down or bring them down at all. And even now with this situation, there are so many people actually enjoying this time, enjoying the time with families. There are also individuals who are experiencing extreme anxiety and fear. There are people who put on some weight and people who use this time to run more, exercise more, work out more, and get in the best shape ever. So what is the secret? That some people are doing amazing whilst others are falling apart. What's the difference between those who get everything done effortlessly while others not so much? People who thrive during these difficult times while others are suffering. So I'm going to introduce you to the subjective reality, which is about a different perspective of the same situation. You have the same thing happening, but you can have a different perspective on it, and you will experience it differently. And also there are always two sides to everything, and in any situation. Let me give you a quick example. So when I show you this, when you look at this, what color do you see? I'm pretty sure you would say white. Well, I see it blue. So my perspective is different than yours. We are looking at the same situation, but you see it differently than I see it. Does that make you wrong or me right, or vice versa? Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way you look at something, the thing you look at changes. So if I flip it over, now you see what I was looking at before. You now have a different perspective and the thing you are looking at changed. You see it looking differently now than before, right? So this is a very, very basic way of explaining this, but if you get it on a deep level, it's very powerful and can truly transform your life. This is the secret to live a charmed life, a happy, blissful life, blessed life. So, as I mentioned before, we cannot control what is going on around us, but how we look at it and how we respond to it. This is how we empower ourselves. I'm not sure about you, but I used to think that I didn't have control over my life at all. That all the bad things were happening to me. I'm a victim. People are saying mean things to me, so I feel bad. The train is cancelled, so I get stressed because I will be late for work. It's raining for months, so I get depressed. I'm stuck in traffic, so I get angry And I could go on and on and on. So my emotional state was based on what was happening around me and what other people were saying to me. And that's not the fun way to live. But what I found is that most people live this way. What it means is that we give our power over our emotions to the outside circumstances around us. So, whenever we are experiencing a situation that isn't necessarily working in our favor, we have the opportunity to change how we see it. If there is a bad in a situation, by the law of polarity, there must be good as well. The law of polarity dictates that there is always opposite to everything. There is up and down, left and right, top and bottom, in and out, etc. So yeah, and it's interesting that we can actually recreate something that has happened in the past. We can go back in memory, maybe in the moment in our childhood when someone said something unpleasant to us, or something has happened and you felt stressed, scared, or maybe bitter and angry. We can actually go back in the memory and change the perspective of the situation and let go of the frustration or whatever feeling we might have. Because it's like a shadow and it doesn't do us any good. So let me give you an example of my friend's father. So she was very upset about the fact that her dad was never around, that he was always working. And her perspective of the situation was that he's chosen work over family. She held that bitterness for years until she met someone wiser who helped her look at the situation differently. She then realized that her dad was actually working hard to provide for the family. He loved her enough to sacrifice the time at home in order to put food on the table. And that was simply his way of expressing love, by working and serving their family. And once she was able to change her perspective on that, looking at this situation differently, that bitterness, this anger, or perhaps sadness inside her went away. So that's how she changed the memory of her childhood, and so can you. So let's look at the COVID-19, the situation that we are currently all living in. What's the perspective that people are having? The economy is going down. What's going to happen? A lot of uncertainty. People are dying. People are losing jobs, running out of money. So this is perspective number one. One way of looking at it. It's the way most people look at. This is the way the news is looking at it, which is of course a huge influence over our world. So let's entertain perspective number two, which is my perspective, and it's so much better and it's also true. I'm not living in fear. I know that it wouldn't help. So I'm happy and peaceful, quite content. So you see, all of us live through the same situation, the same circumstances, yet we have people in varying levels of feeling good to feeling really bad. So here's another way to look at what is going on right now. Families are reconnecting. People have been constantly busy. How many times have you heard someone say, "Oh, I wish I had more time to spend with my family"? Well, we are getting to spend a lot more time with our families now. So many people want to open an online business, to be their own boss and work from anywhere in the world, you have plenty of time to do the research and create MSI, which stands for multiple sources of income. Calling in friends and family, just checking in and seeing how people are doing. There's a lot of connection and community happening. Relationships are growing. People are taking time to reflect what's important to them. This is the time to wake up, to see what's really valuable. You can use this time for the things, tasks that have been postponed for weeks. Pollution is going down, the water is getting cleared, smog is going down. It's so amazing for our planet. This time will cause people to have more appreciation in general. And after all this is finished, there may be so many people saying, I don't want to go back to my job. I want to pursue what I'm passionate about. We need to use this time wisely. Now that we don't have an excuse of being busy, we can focus on what we would really love to do. People don't wake up when things are easy and comfortable and everything is just going smoothly. No, it's when the adversity comes. That is the kick in the butt that we need to step up and go and do what we actually really want to do. There are so many things that we do but not necessarily want to do. We do them because to be comfortable, to stay in this comfort zone. Let's say we have a job, we don't like it, but we keep it because it pays our bills. We don't like it or even hate it, but hey, it's fine. I am able to live on it, just about. So it's all good. It makes us feel comfortable. But being in this comfort zone is actually dangerous. It's a dangerous place, as it won't let us grow and progress. Being in this comfort zone doesn't require us to stretch, to develop new skills. On the contrary, it's trying to hide all the new possibilities away from you. It's like the ego trying to keep you safe. Don't do this, don't do that, because you can fail. So what? If you won't try, you will never know whether it was meant for you or not. And even if you fail, you already have what it takes to get back up. If it was the last day of your life, would you rather say, oh, I wish I'd done this or that, or I wonder what it would be like if I did this or that? Or maybe, well, it didn't work out, but at least I gave it a go. Or maybe, I'm so glad I did it. It completely changed my life. I think I got off track a little bit, but I really want to make this point very clear, that some people have to either hit the rock bottom or something has to happen so that we change the attitude toward ourselves or toward life in general. And whenever adversity comes, we can usually see how it impacted in our life in a positive way in retrospect. We think back and say, wow, I thought it was a disaster, but if it wouldn't have happened, I would never live the way I live now, or something similar. So this is really the time to take a minute and think, okay, am I gonna live in fear and let this suck me down? Or am I gonna go deeper and awaken in this time of adversity and really get clear? What do I really want to create in my life? If you give your whole focus and attention on all the things that you want to happen in your life, as opposed to the things that you are trying to run away from, you will be amazed at how it can change your life. If you think differently, you automatically feel differently, act differently, and ultimately get different results in your life. So everything comes down to perspective. Another thing that I want to talk about is to be present in this very moment, here and now. But for a minute, I want you to think of the moment in the past when you were worried about something that never happened. Maybe your loved one was supposed to be home at 8 and it's already 10 o'clock. You're panicking, oh my God, something horrible happened probably. Car accident, kidnapping, or God knows what. But the truth was, they fell asleep at friend's house or something like that. But you felt terrible, anxiety, sadness, and everything at once. For you, it was the end of the world at that moment. Yet it was only in your mind. Something you were imagining. It wasn't true and it didn't happen. I read somewhere that fear and faith both require us to believe in something that we cannot see. And I thought it was, oh my God, it was so true. So if we want to make up stories in our minds, why don't we make the positive ones so at least we feel better? And the answer is paradigms, which are mental programs that have almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual, but that's for another day. So coming back to imagining what can happen. Do you think you might be doing it right now with this COVID-19? You are imagining something that isn't even going to happen, or even if it were, even if it did happen, does worrying about it at this moment change it or help it make it better? I don't think so, and I'm sure you would agree. So this is needless suffering. This is panic and torture that you do not need to go through. And this is the perfect time to practice being present. And what I mean by being present is being aware of your breathing, looking at your surroundings, becoming aware of your surroundings. Because when we are because when we are worried about something, we mentally go to the future. It's like time traveling. So what we want to do is we want to bring ourselves back to the present moment. That way, you can make yourself feel better. So choose the perspective. Look at this situation, this moment of time as a great time for new possibilities, chance to improve relationships. Be in this present moment. Enjoy your time with family. Forget about tomorrow, next week. Don't miss out on the beauty of this moment now because you are fearing of all the things that may or may not happen, very likely are not going to happen. Because you can really waste your whole life worrying about all the things while, for example, playing with your kids. Instead of being in this very moment with your kid, seeing their twinkle in their eye, have fun with them, giving them your full attention. You are physically with them, but mentally you are somewhere else. Thinking, okay, I need to get this one done, I need to call that person, I need to do all this stuff. That is not important at this very moment. If you are worried that you might forget what you need to do next, just make a note of it and put it aside. Stop thinking about it and direct your focus on what you are doing right now. And remember that you will never get this time back. I remember when I used to do few things at the same time. And I found that that's not the right way to live. I couldn't get anything done the way I wanted to, no matter how hard I tried. So life taught me this lesson so many times that after a couple of years, I think, I got it. So you live and learn every single day. Okay, so that's how we can miss our entire life, because we either live in our past, regretting reliving, or in our future, fearing of whatever. So I would like to encourage you to practice this being present, and all the negative fearing, feeling of fear goes away, because you no longer give it your energy, your attention. You are not feeding this emotion, and it goes away or dies from starvation. And a simple way to practice being present is by looking at your surroundings and basically name what you can see, like the printer, laptop, desk, painting, picture. When you read a book, you are also present. When you go for a walk and smell the air, or maybe hear the sound of the wind. So if you are in now, the fear disappears because you are okay now. You are feeling good right now. There is always something to focus on that we can be grateful for. We can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. There are so many people in this world who are living in a very difficult conditions, and they can still have smile on their faces. So again, let's take the control back, take the control of our emotions back, and remember that we cannot control what's around us, but we can choose and control how we respond to them or what we give our attention to. So we can choose whether we are living in this moment and be present, or whether we are living in the future and fearing and living, having anxiety. So choose the perspective, become present, and silence the mind of all the chatters. And it can absolutely work wonders for you. How to become present and silence the mind? Let's do a quick exercise here and now and see how long you can silence your mind for completely without any thought interrupting. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and slowly breathe out. Now be present. Feel the hands touching the chair that you are sitting on. Perhaps you can smell a candle of something. Now I want you to go back in your memory and think of something you did today. Maybe you brush your teeth, took shower. I want you to mentally go through it again until I say stop. Then stop thinking about it and quiet your mind. Do not think about anything else. Okay, stop. Right. I'm curious, how many people were able to quiet their mind completely from the moment I said stop until I started to talk again? This is such a wonderful thing that you can develop in practice. Silencing the mind automatically raises the vibration. It brings you back into the present moment, and it cuts out all the clutter and all the crazy stuff that is bothering you or keeps you awake at night. And you get back your control. So when you master this skill, your life can change like night and day. And you'll be so much happier, vibrant, and peaceful person. So I strongly recommend practicing silencing your mind and being in control of your thoughts. Now is a great opportunity to learn and practice these tools. It's an amazing opportunity for you to grow and strengthen yourself. And this will serve you for the rest of your life in any areas, not just COVID-19, because when you can get still, you get that clarity, you get rid of the clutter, you become a very powerful human being. For many people, it is like a constant stream of thoughts. It can be exhausting. So please do yourself a favor and practice this amazing exercise that can truly transform your life forever. If you have any questions or need help, feel free to reach out to me and I will do my best to help you. Right, okay guys, have yourself a wonderful day or night, wherever you are in the world or wherever time you are watching this video, and know that you have all the power. Don't give it away to others, to the media, to negative people. Just don't give it away. Lots of love and wash your hands. Bye for now.